What is going on, guys? It is Chris here from Spartan Jesters, and I'm with the beautiful Daniel.
Hi guys.
And today we're going to give our PvP impressions as the NDA has been lifted. Pause for applause, just thank you. So, Dan, what is on our list today?
PvP.
Oh, obviously, what's on the first part of our list?
Okay, we'll start off with siege weapons because I think they're actually quite an interesting thing, even though they could probably easily be glanced over. There's a lot to them.
Yeah, exactly. So, first off, when it comes to siege weapons, to get them is probably the main question, right? The best way to get them is in your starting area once you enter PvP. Basically, you have two starting areas: for one for the Aldemir, two for the Aldemir Dominion, two for the Daggerfall Covenant, and two for the Ebonheart Pack. And in those said areas, you can buy them for either alliance points, which is gained from taking keeps, defeating players, taking resources, or you can buy them with gold. So when it comes in buying them, I think it's for every 200 gold, it's 1,800 alliance points. Don't hold me on that. That may change at launch. So in terms of health and controlling them, Dan, do you want to give us a little rundown on that?
Well, obviously they have a health, so they can be destroyed. They can be destroyed by other siege weapons, I guess
Yeah,
players. I don't
players can
know.
run up to them and actually manually destroy them. So,
Yeah, if they're lucky enough to get close enough.
yeah.
But yeah, so the whole point is you put them down, they have this health bar, they can be taken out by things, but they also slowly degrade as you use them. The other thing to keep in mind is that you have to man them. They're
Yeah,
not going to fire themselves. You can't just go, okay, fire at that wall constantly and I'll leave you to it.
it's manual control basically.
But they don't take long to set up, just one to
One to
three
three seconds,
seconds,
I
I
think.
guess.
Yeah, 1 to 3
Depends what one
seconds.
it is. I think they're all slightly different because you have trebuchets, ballistas. What
Yeah,
else do you have?
exactly. Uh,
You get a
Battering
battering
rams.
ram, don't you?
Yeah, you get battering rams.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So these can also be quick slotted with Q, or I don't know the control for the Xbox PS4 actually, but you can quick slot them and they can be picked up and replaced on any flat area. Now, when I mean flat area, you can't just randomly place them on a mounting pointing down. They have to be kind of leveled out. You can't
Sort
just,
of like on the top of a tree.
yeah. So in terms of siege weapons, they've done a great job. If there was one thing I'd like to change about it is the way to buy them. I wish you could buy them in keeps rather than just buying them at your starting zone, you know.
Yeah,
So
but
speaking of keeps, Dan.
oh no, you're going on too fast here, buddy.
Oh, go on
You
then.
need to take into consideration what can you do with these siege weapons. So obviously everyone would think, all right, you can take down walls and doors and things like that, but they're incredibly effective against enemies as well, aren't they, Chris?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because when I was playing last night to actually get this footage, I actually was just walking through, running towards to get to my teammates because I didn't have a horse because I didn't have 1,000 or 17,000 gold. So I was running, and out of nowhere, this big arrow just comes out of nowhere, and because my character's only like level 14, 15, she just got obliterated. Like, I just saw a big red circle, and I looked around. There was no enemies, and then I stood there and I just looked up in the sky, and I was like, "Oh, beep, dead."
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind that they're also really effective against enemies. So if there's a big group of them,
Mhm.
and you want to split them up, that's the way to do it, and you can also take some out in the process.
Yeah.
Now we can go on to the
Now we can
keeps.
go into keeps. So, how many
Yes.
keeps and surrounding areas are there to capture and control, Dan?
Right, so we'll just say what surrounding area is quickly. Surrounding area is either a lumber mill, a farm, or a mine. Now there's 16 keeps within the map, and they're obviously evenly distributed in the starter zones, and then there's some in the center as well.
Yeah,
And each of these keeps has a lumber mill, a mine, or a farm. So that's
a
three of
resource.
those per keep, plus the keep itself, and there's 16 sets of those. So you've got about 64 things that can be assaulted within the PvP areas.
Yeah, exactly. And when Dan means assaulted, you can't just go solo them. You have to obviously have a group of players. There's no lone wolf situation in PvP. You're gonna have to group up and help people.
Yeah, because the only thing is, it's like, oh, but what happens if there's no one there? Surely I can just go take it. False. There are NPCs, and they are quite strong. Obviously, they can be defeated by, I think, about 5 or 6 people could take one on their
Yeah,
own.
we went up north to Fort Ashford, and it took us about 15 minutes to just take a mine, didn't it?
Yeah, so you got to be careful. Can't just run in there yourself.
Yeah,
Siege weapons help because they do damage against NPCs as well.
yeah, and each surrounding areas or resource areas, whatever you want to call them, there's there's obviously NPCs as dancing, but there's also a healing NPC which you might want to just look out for if you're going and taking them out, because you want to take her out first. You don't want to just be taking someone down and have them go back up to full health.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Now, there
Obviously.
is other things that you can take within the PvP, and that is Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Now, Elder Scrolls in PvP, there is 6 of them. Each alliance gets 2 to start off with, and you can actually run in and you can take them. On the map right now, there was the Aldemir Dominion took every one of them, basically. And you can put them in any of the keeps that you want, and for each Elder Scrolls you get a buff. Now, the buff is determined which Elder Scrolls you have. I'm not too sure of them right now. I'll probably list them on the screen. I'll probably go in game and have a look. But it's best to keep them closest to your home base, because if you have them in the middle and the Aldemir Dominion loses the middle, you're going to lose the Elder Scrolls.
And something to keep in mind is that you can only have one per keep, so they can actually go quite far out from your main base because, I mean, if you're lucky enough to have all six, then obviously you need six keeps to fit them in, and you don't really have six grouped up that close.
Yeah,
Um,
precisely. I mean, you're not going to be able to put all 6 in one base and have everyone stand around that.
And am I correct in saying, Chris, that obviously you can't just go up and go, okay, I've capped this by standing next to it for a bit. It's going to go port to the base I decide. You have to literally grab it and run it to a
No,
base.
it's you have to grab it and run there, exactly. And I mean, let's say
So it
if
could
you're
be intercepted. It could be left out in the no man's land,
yeah,
just being fought for. So it is sometimes there might be fights for Elder Scrolls that aren't even in keeps. It could just be
in the
open
middle of
world
nowhere.
fighting. Obviously within the Cyrodiil, not just
Yeah,
out in just.
exactly. Exactly. So in that's everything. Oh, one more thing. Keeps can be repaired, and when I mean repaired, you need to have resources for those keeps, and that's the mine, lumber mill, or farm. And if your walls go down, you're going to need the mine to get resources from that to repair your walls, etc. For the doors and I think
So
the
yeah,
get.
just as a quick note, the farm is what keeps your NPCs strong.
Mhm.
Your lumber mills are the doors to your keeps,
Yep.
and the mines are to keep up the strength of your walls. Yeah?
Yeah. Precisely.
Right,
Precisely.
so if you take down one of those, the relative nearby keep is going to weaken in that area. So moving on to our next topic now, we're just going to go over combat quickly. So combat, when you go in, first time you go in, you're going to get boosted up because obviously if you're trying to go off against level 50s and you're like a level 10, then
Mhm.
your stats are going to be nowhere near. So they give you a boost, like half a thousand health or something like that. They just get you up. But that's not enough to make it even, but it does give you a fighting chance. So why doesn't that make it even, Chris?
It doesn't make it even because if you were to go in and you were to fight someone, right? And
Yep.
if I was to go in, let's say if I was a level 10 and I went in against a level 50, I wouldn't be able to take out the level 50, would I?
No, and this is because the level 50 is going to have a lot more skill points specced into things like passives, which are going to give him boosts. His skills are going to be morphed and strengthened. He's going to have the later game skills.
Yeah.
You may have similar health and things like that, but your damage output is probably not going to be as good, and your abilities aren't going to be as controlling. So that's something to take into account
Yeah,
that
exactly.
level 50s are still going to beat level 10s,
And it's not
but
even just level 50s, it could be veteran ranks as well, because they'll have the more skill
yeah,
points.
exactly. And level 40s and 30s or whatever. But you could, it's still fightable. You still have a slight chance. But I would say probably, 2-on-1, you might be able to take one. Three
Yeah,
on one is probably about even from a level 10 to a veteran.
yeah.
So,
Unless you're fighting the Emperor, then you're just screwed, because the Emperor buff just completely makes you a monster.
yeah.
So, players, when they die, they can be. There's 2 ways, 3 ways to be resurrected. There is you can resurrect at your nearest keep, that isn't contested.
Ooh.
You can resurrect by a soul gem,
Yay.
and you can resurrect via player camp. Now, when you resurrect via player camp, you can only be resurrected 10 times, and then it disappears. But
No,
soul
no,
gem is
that
probably
isn't 10 times per person because you would think, well, how many times am I going to get resurrected? It's only 10 reses per camp.
yeah,
So, first 10 people to die, they can get res by camp. And camps can be placed nearby keeps and things. So, if you're like, okay, we're going to take this keep, but we know people are going to fall down and they're going to have to go miles away. So, we put up a little camp. It means that the first 10 people who can die can run back in quickly, as long as you can then still make sure that the camp
yeah,
doesn't
and
get
these camps
taken
can be
by an
placed
idiot while
anywhere
you're
in
not paying
PvP.
attention.
So in terms of soul gems, you can be resurrected. I don't think it's in combat. I think it's once you're out of combat and someone has this grand soul gem or higher, they will be able to resurrect you with that, and the soul gem then becomes empty or depleted, and you'll be able to fill it back up and basically raise another person again. So that basically covered combat and traveling in one go, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, traveling is different to dying.
Yeah,
If
obviously
you
you don't
go to
die to.
a way shrine, you can go to any uncontested keeps. If you want to go to a contested one, you're going to have to go to a nearby one instead and run there. So you can't just go, right, this keep's been taken, let's all travel there. And then just take out them, and then the whole of our alliance then ports to another one and takes out who's attacking, and
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
you're going to have to be smart.
But yeah, so what do you think about PvP, Dan?
I think so far it's well balanced. I mean, I can see that the siege weapons on players may be slightly overpowered, in the sense that you could literally just aim siege weapons at your own front door and no one's going to get into that. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe, I mean, two shots, I would accept that as being balanced, but being one-shotted by a siege weapon, I know you could call it realistic, but it's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
So I
I
think it might
totally
kill
agree
off
with
the
you.
fight too fast.
You've basically just taken my personal opinion about it.
But I think the fact that higher level people have a higher chance of defeating lower enemies is good. I think that they deserve that for being higher level when it gives you the, I don't know, it will give you the drive to go through it, but they've still given you a fighting chance. If you group
Mhm.
up and you play well, then anyone can take out anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, that's basically been our first impressions of PvP in the Elder Scrolls Online. Since the NDA dropped, we'll be bringing out a lot more footage. Dan will be bringing some guides as well. We're just working on fixing his Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
It's basically getting an unknown error has occurred every time he logs in. If anyone knows how to fix this, let it know. And yeah, see you in the next video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.